Ever thought that working as a car-hailing driver could turn you into a billionaire? Maybe the next Kanye West or Elon Musk? Well, get ready to be intrigued because this story is quite the adventure. But here's the catch. To unlock mind-blowing rewards, you need to collect a bunch of bad reviews. The worse the better. I know it sounds pretty unbelievable, but don't worry. Animation is here to serve up this extraordinary tale with every little loco detail. Introducing the legendary car-hailing system. Deep bow to the brilliant minds over at Dax & Go Animation for coming up with this stroke of genius. And for those who'd rather not read the whole story, you're in luck because this recap is going to fill in all the blanks. Just a heads up, there are plenty of spoilers ahead. So start your engines and let's go. We've previously witnessed Yang grappling with some more rude customers, but this time there was a comical twist. I mean, at first, I thought these two passengers were a couple, but it turns out that it's not love but family bonds that are in play here. Just to set the scene, this guy had the audacity to put his stinky feet on the front dashboard of Yang's car, which understandably pushed Yang to the brink. He ended up kicking that rude passenger out, and when I say kicking, I mean he literally kicked him out of the car.
This is Sparta!
To everyone's surprise, Yang turned out to be not your average driver because he was cruising in a rare car. This made the rude passengers apologize faster than a cat can pounce on a laser pointer. Brace yourself for this chapter recap where things take a comically unexpected turn with a sibling swap. You see, the girl with orange hair seems to be trying to catch Yang's eye, but seriously, is she living in a romantic comedy? Because Yang Chen is entirely not interested in dating right now. He just politely asks the orange-haired girl to clean the camera for him, but the moment she steps out of the car, he locks the doors faster than a squirrel hiding its acorns and even tossed her bag out like it was a hot potato.
Горячая картошечка. Very hot potato.
I don't know about you, but I'm loving his sassy attitude and actions. From that point on, the two siblings started bickering like two rival squirrels fighting over the last nut in a tree because the girl was trying to flirt with Yang Chen in an awkward attempt at defending her younger brother, and his teasing and basically calling her a gold digger left her feeling humiliated. She quickly explained her actions, and her little brother immediately apologized and promised to make it up to her and get his lick back, aka revenge. Now when you think of getting back at a rideshare driver, what's the classic move? Leaving a bad review, right? Well, little did they know that this bad review was about to open up a world of wealth again for Yang Chen. But here's the funny part. Yang Chen in all the sassy glory decides to give his car a complete spa treatment to get rid of that awful foot odor. And if you're wondering about his reward this time, it's like he won the jackpot in a game show because he gets a 32% ownership stake in Beijing Hotel, valued at $5 million in cash. Move aside Elon Musk. There's a new eccentric billionaire in town. After enjoying his newfound riches, he goes home only to find a group of chefs at his doorstep courtesy of Miss Xu. Of course, he invites them in to cook, and the chefs are more surprised than a cat finding a cucumber in its path. They can't believe the kitchen gadgets and utensils he has, which probably seem as advanced as alien technology to them. After preparing the meals, Miss Xu arrived just in time. Initially, Yang thought it would be Aunt Lan as the only guest, but Miss Xu also joined the gathering. And as usual, she was absolutely awestruck by Yang's house, probably wondering if he might be the rich daddy she's been on the lookout for. As they both sat down to eat, I couldn't help but be surprised by the dishes on the table. I mean, how to look at that dish on the right? Is that a chicken with its head still on? Wow, talk about a unique meal. Miss Xu and Yang enjoyed their food together, and Miss Xu was thoroughly convinced that Yang was from one of those super rich families. I bet that she'll be in for a surprise when she learns how Yang really came into all this wealth. Anyhow, they decided to take a leisurely walk to help digest their hearty meal, and to their surprise, they stumbled upon that guy from previous chapters. You remember the one who boasted about his dad being the chairman of the Yao Wu group? Yep, that's the one. Well, it seems he's not done seeking revenge, and he's dead set on teaching Yang a lesson he won't forget. But let's be honest, this guy is in for a serious thrashing because we all know that Yang has become a force to be reckoned with, right? I mean, previous rewards, he even received a boost to his stamina, so handling this guy and all of his homies is going to be a walk in the park for Yang. And guess what? I was absolutely right because Yang literally gave those guys a beating and served the Yao Wu man a taste of his own medicine. In return for protecting Miss Xu, she volunteered to be the one to deliver justice to the Yao Wu guy and his dad. And Miss Sue did not disappoint because after returning home, she promptly informed Aunt Lan that she wanted to see the Yao Wu group go bankrupt. Now that's some bold action. It's bossing. The next day, we're reintroduced to Lixin, a cute short-haired girl who's Yang Chen's classmate, the one he left on the bridge. Standing beside her is her man who insisted he wouldn't pay for any of their meals if Yang Chen doesn't show up. Then two other people entered the scene and accused Lixin of not paying for their meals, making them appear like beggars. Honestly, I wasn't quite sure what was going on at this point, but it seems the next chapters will shed light on this mystery. So let's flip to the next page to find out. As it turns out, they were having a class reunion and all those in attendance are Yang Chen's former classmates. The guy with Lixin used to be her man, but as we can see, they just broke up because Lixin thought he was a total loser.
Loser! You're a loser!
Who only brought her there to embarrass her and cause her to lose face. Losing face, also known as being publicly humiliated, is quite the social blunder in their culture. Yang Chen finally arrives and the atmosphere starts to become more relaxed. Everyone wants an explanation for his tardiness. This guy named Tao starts simping and declares he'll foot the bill, and as an apology for being tardy, he tells Yang Chen to order several bottles of wine as a gesture of goodwill. Now let me tell you, one bottle alone cost a whopping 128,000 yuan, and everyone couldn't help but wonder how long Yang Chen would have to work as a ride-hailing driver to afford it. Little did they know how incredibly rich Yang Chen had become. Initially, they wanted to cancel the order in order to avoid more embarrassment, but it had already been placed. The hotel manager burst into the scene, ready to confront the non-paying guests, only to discover that it was Yang Chen. He immediately changed his tone and became incredibly polite. You could probably guess what happened next, right? Yes, everyone was left in awe of how Yang Chen was treated and wondered how he managed to become the second largest shareholder in the hotel. So after chit-chatting with his classmates, Yang Chen left them because he had a date with Sue. Wow, I never thought that things would go so smoothly for them. Anyway, after the surprising revelation about his wealth, Yang Chen received a flood of messages from girls asking him out. I mean, what's up with all the sudden interest from the ladies in this series as soon as they smell money?
Women.
The next day, Yang Chen decided to hit the road for some more ride-hailing. His first passenger was an overexcited and quite entitled woman. Apparently, her neighbor had called to say she saw this woman's husband having an affair, so she's rushing home to catch him in the act. Talk about a dramatic start to your day. She booked a taxi quite late and will almost certainly miss her train home, but expects Yang to reimburse her as she does. He jokingly says to call the train station and ask them to hold the train till she arrives. And what do you know, this crazy lady does just that. What a Karen. Yang drops off the angry Karen and quickly gets a text from Jia Yun asking if he's available to pick her up and discuss a few things. Remember, Yang Chen rescued her last time from that drubbing incident that involved her roommates and her ex. As Yang enters the campus grounds to pick Jia Yun up, he promptly receives a notification of another bad review. Our crazy Karen wasted no time in complaining, but little did she know, her negative nagging just scored our friend a brand new sports car. Funny enough, the rewards goddess offered no further information, but I'm sure we'll find out the make and location soon enough. As Yang walks down the campus grounds, he spots a fantastic, fast, and really expensive sports car, and kinda wishes that was his reward. Some flashy guy brags that the 45 million yen car belongs to him and quickly hands Yang a banner that said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" and asks him to help hold it. Talk about an unexpected request. Yang had no choice but to help out. And just when you thought things couldn't get crazier, Jia Yun suddenly appears. The moment she saw Yang holding the banner, she rushed over, hugged him, and even planted a kiss on him.
Oh my god! Wow!
Like, walk easy now, girl. Are you really for real? She even admitted to leaving some of her saliva on his face, and Yang seemed to enjoy it. Not to kink shame, that was weird AF. Zhao turned down the flashy guy and rejected him on the spot. And you can probably guess what happened next. The guy with the banner and flowers threatened Yang with poison if he didn't back off. As things started heating up, Yang received a text claiming that the sports car he received was the same car that the guy with the banner had been showing off. Surprise, surprise, that rare sports car was Yang's new ride. I'm just as surprised as the guy who was bluffing. Damn. I wish I was lucky enough to live Yang's life and get fabulous new things every day. Of course, everyone, including myself, was left completely bewildered. Yang asked Zhao to join in for a ride in his new sports car, but she insisted her best friend come along. Unfortunately, this decision cost her the chance to ride in Yang's car because he got frustrated with her naivety and promptly kicked them both to the curb. He told them to grab a taxi and meet him at the location. The guy who was trying to seduce Zhao with his wealth even contacted his big sister to make sure if Yang really owned that car. Big sis must be a big boss to have access to that information. Strangely, Yang's name was not on the list of the 3 people who owned this multi-million vehicle. Zhao and her BFF went to the place Yang had instructed them to go, and the guy followed them. At first, the girls were worried because Yang wasn't there when they arrived. But don't worry, Yang was just retrieving his original car from where he parked it for his ride-hailing job. However, Richie Rich aka Lin Xiao and his sister were waiting for Yang's arrival, and in the meantime, were busy insulting young Zhao. They were still not convinced that Yang was the car's owner or that he had any wealth to his name. His sister even tried to confront him when he finally showed up with some guys who appeared to be their sidekicks. But when the manager of the Bao King restaurant appeared, they were shocked by how polite he was to Mr. Yang. We all know here this is heading, right? Of course, everyone was left flabbergasted to discover that Yang was the second largest shareholder of the company. Lao Xiao even got slapped by his sister and was forced to bow down and apologize. It's like something out of a classic Korean drama, right? We've been down this road before. But before I spill the beans on what happens next, stay tuned until the end of this wild ride. Hey, still watching? Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button for a regular dose of our awesome anime content. Now I'm willing to wager all the ramen in the world that you're positively itching with curiosity. Am I onto something here or am I onto something? But before we dive into what happens next in our story, let's take a closer look at the chapters we've covered from the 22nd to the 31st. If you want to catch up on the earlier chapters, feel free to check the description box for the links. This manhwa continues to entertain us with its unique blend of comedy and just a touch of seriousness. The color and animation are incredibly satisfying in their own way, although some scenes could use a little improvement to better convey the story.
Okay.
What's even more fascinating is how these rewards just keep getting better day by day. It's like a ride on a roller coaster filled with surprises. The story's scenes are becoming increasingly thrilling, like an adventure that's impossible to forecast. Imagine stepping into the shoes of our main character, Yang, as he explores this ever-changing and unpredictable world. The story keeps you alert and you can't help but wonder about the next twist. But let's also be honest about one predictable aspect. As soon as others find out about Yang's newfound wealth, they swiftly change their tune and start to support him. No matter what, money talks. Overall, it was a good chapter with several moments that I really enjoyed. For instance, I found it quite endearing when Yang showed his humility and tried not to flaunt his lavish lifestyle. He is so sassy yet also respectful and humble. But what's up with the girls in this manhwa? It seems like everyone is a bit of a gold digger. And just like in the previous chapters, we still haven't seen a potential love interest for Yang. Sure, Miss Sue was intriguing, but there's something off about her. At least that's what my spidey senses are telling me. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's recap. Who captured your attention? Are you as puzzled as I am about Yang's love life and all the obsessive girls? What do you think will happen to Yang next, and will he finally find true love amidst all this craziness? Or are you more interested in what his next reward will be? Personally, I love seeing the spoiled, rich, entitled Karens and wealthy boys who brag with their daddy's bank account being taken down a notch. Leave your comments down below, and let's unravel this engaging story together. Before we wrap things up, there's a quick heads up. All the clips you see in this video belong to their original creators, and our main goal is to have a genuine and meaningful chat about this manhwa. We're here to share our passion for it with all of you. Let's keep the conversation going and enjoy discussing this awesome manhwa. Before we part ways, make sure to hit that like button, and if you made it all the way to the end with me, don't forget to comment a kitty cat. This is your anime sensei signing off.